What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and we start the morning with a gigantic rumor on my favorite game franchise of all time. And with that being said, I'm pretty defensive of it, so just kind of keep that in mind as we go through this video. But it's an Uncharted rumor that the series is going to get rebooted. And it's actually pretty short because a lot of it is just their own speculation. But what is, again, from this rumor is that Sony decided to reboot the series of Uncharted, and it's going to actually be made by another developer, an unknown developer. Naughty Dog will start them off, basically help them out, and then they'll give kind of full control to them, and then the new team will be on its own. And that's pretty much it. In fact, the site that breaks the story actually speculates that maybe a logo at the Game Awards. I honestly doubt it, although that would actually be pretty insane. So let's talk about that reboot part, because when I hear the word reboot, you can go a couple different ways, and it depends on which way you go. Because when I hear the word reboot, I kind of get a little worried, kind of right off the jump. Now, again, Uncharted is my favorite franchise, so I'm going to be more defensive of it, and I just want the franchise to continue the streak of just making incredible games. So what I don't want is Uncharted to literally start over with none of the established characters existing. I've actually always been very vocal that Uncharted does not need to be Nathan Drake. So when you make future games, you make spin-offs, Nate doesn't have to be in it. Now, if you made a literally in line an Uncharted 5 and you played with Cassie, right, his daughter, that's fine. And then I would want, Nate maybe to be a cameo. I think that would be perfect because you're handing it off. It all makes sense. Like, everything's there, right? But what I don't want is to start the franchise at ground zero where none of the characters exist anymore. While Uncharted doesn't need to be Nathan Drake, I'd like the characters to exist in the world. I think those are actually two very different things, right? And again, the way you interpret reboot doesn't have to mean that they completely start fresh. In fact, the site says that their speculation, they can go two different ways: rebooting with a young Nathan Drake or with a new character, but with a cameo from Drake. Again, a new character doesn't actually make sense, just use his daughter. And then rebooting it with a young Nathan Drake, it depends on if you think Nate is done or not, and I honestly think he is. I think I would take an Uncharted 1 remake, but I don't know, like, do we need more Nate young? We had him young in 4, we had him young in 3. Now, there's plenty we don't know, but I don't know if we need to necessarily, and again, does rebooting, because rebooting, like, modern day and Hollywood and even, like, modern day gaming tends to mean, well, let's just forget about what made the franchise special and let's move on to other things. Again, it doesn't need to be Nate, but I just get the sense that if it's that kind of reboot, right? If it's we want to make a game, not necessarily an Uncharted game, but here we are making an Uncharted game, so we're going to do it our way. That's kind of modern Hollywood and modern gaming when they do reboots, right? But the idea of literally just like the most simple definition of a reboot, just like starting it again, that's fine. I mean, honestly, that all that means is you're bringing the franchise back. So look, in some ways, like any Uncharted, like I want to kind of say the saying that like any Uncharted is good Uncharted, right? Like, I'll take basically anything. With that being said, it needs to be very high quality, and I don't want them disrespecting the what it actually is. I'll be honest though, not having Naughty Dog, I'm actually pretty okay with that. People actually have pretty split decisions on Uncharted 4 if it was going in the right or wrong direction. It's actually my favorite Uncharted game, but I don't know, like the way, really one half of that the highest creative team there left. And then Neil has been, in my opinion, kind of shaky since then. And he's doing his own stuff. I don't really need him to make a future Uncharted game. And honestly, I don't really need Naughty Dog to make a future Uncharted game. So I'm more than okay with them handing it off. So ironically, the only thing I'm worried about here, I'm not worried about the new team at all. And even if you are, I mean, Naughty Dog is supposed to help them kind of get started. So they'll have them as their foundation, and you need a good foundation, and then they'll build up from there on their own. So I think that should honestly be okay. I'm more worried about what does reboot mean. Does reboot mean getting rid of everything that's already happened and just ignoring it all? Or does it mean you're literally just bringing it back, and we're not going to continue it, with Nate as like a 55-year-old man, but we're going to, we're bringing the franchise back. So that's kind of where I'm at. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you want to follow or support me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.